Good morning, students. We are starting with periodontal instruments from today. So before going for instruments, I am going to tell you just introductory part related with periodontics. So periodontics is a branch of dentistry which deals with the health and disease of periodontal structure. So periodontal structures are four structures: gingiva, periodontal ligament, cementum and alveolar bone. So the disease is initiated. Disease of this periodontal structure, we call it as a gingivitis and periodontitis. So these diseases are initiated mainly by the microorganisms which are present in the plaque, bacterial plaque which is present on the surface of the tooth. So this pathogenic bacteria, they initiate disease, and clinical signs of disease can be seen in the oral cavity. So sometimes this bacterial plaque get mineralized into calculus, and this calculus again gives shelter to microorganisms because of its roughness and bacterial plaque. So while treating this periodontitis or gingivitis, we need to remove the plaque and calculus from the surface of the tooth. So for that purpose, we need to have instruments with us for removal of plaque and calculus. So today we are going to start with periodontal instruments. Periodontal instruments are categorized into diagnostic, then supragingival scaling set, subgingival scaling set, then polishing instruments and surgical type of instruments. So today I am going to tell you about diagnostic instruments. So each and every periodontal instrument has unique design. So some basic parts are there, that is handle. Handle is the middle part which is mainly used for holding purpose. Then shank. Shank is the part which extends from handle to the working end of instrument, and this is working end of instrument. So main purpose of handle is holding of instrument. Then shank is mainly for increasing accessibility, for reaching to that particular area, and working end is mainly for working purpose. So where exactly we are working. So for working we are going to use this working end. So working end can be of different types. In mirror we call it as a mirror top, in probe we call it as a probe tip, and here in scalers or in curettes we call it as a working end or blade of the curette. So depending on the design of instrument, we call it with different name. So first, going towards handle. Handle is mainly used for holding purpose. Handle can be of different types. So different types like large diameter handle or small diameter handle. So here this is large diameter handle and this is smaller diameter handle. So smaller diameter handle, it causes muscle creeping when we hold for longer time period. So large diameter handle is easy to hold, so we can use it for longer time period. Other than that, light and heavy. So light is air is incorporated in that, and heavy it can be a rigid and mainly made up of whole metal. Other than that, smooth handles are also there. So smooth handles and knurled handles. So knurled handles means what? On that handle there is rough or corrugated surfaces there which make you easy to hold that handle. Other than that, handle can be rigid and light, or rigid and in rigid handle it makes you tidy if you use for longer time period. Light air is incorporated and makes easy to use. So this is about handle. Then moving towards next part, that is shank. Shank is again of different types. So simple shank and complex shank. In simple shank, the shank is only move in one angle or one direction, that is back and forth, and mainly this simple shank is used for anterior purpose, whereas the shank complex type of shank, where shank is turned into back and forth as well as towards side. Here one sharp contraangle is incorporated, and because of that shank is made more complex so that it can be used for posterior region. So shank is the part which is mainly used for the use or importance is mainly for the accessibility. So shank extends from handle till the working end, last bend of working end. We call it as a functional shank. and terminal shank is from the second last bend towards the up to last bend towards working end. So these are the different types of shank. Rigid shank or flexible shank is also one of the type of shank, where rigid shank is solid, and because of that it gives strength to that instrument, and when we use calculus or firm or hard calculus, when we are removing, that time this rigid shank gives strength against that calculus, whereas flexible shank it can get break that time. So flexible, another advantage of flexible shank is what that perception is more better with flexible shank, like in an Explorer. Then after shank, working end, as I have told you that working end is different in different part of or different instrument. So we will start, these are the basic parts of instrument. We'll start with the diagnostic instrument now. In diagnostic instrument, first we'll start with mirror. All of you know that this is a dental mirror. Mirror can be, this part we call it as a mirror top, and this is handle. Mirror top, on mirror top there are different numbers are given, like 5, 4, 3. So 5 is the routine number which we use here. 3 number is mainly for pedo purpose. There are again different types of mirror, like flat surface mirror, front surface mirror, and concave mirror. Concave mirror gives magnified image, and front surface mirror, in which the reflecting area is front to the glass of that mirror, whereas in flat surface mirror it is that reflecting area is back to the mirror, and because of that it produces ghost image. So front surface mirror is more better compared to all other. Then the uses of mirror are mainly for reflection purpose. Cheek can be retraction purpose, cheek can be retracted or tongue can be retracted. Other than that, for vision purpose, you can see in the mirror in indirect vision. So for that purpose, as well as illumination, trans illumination purpose, we can use mirror. So this is mainly use of mirror. Then next diagnostic instrument is a periodontal probe. So periodontal probe is usually used for marking or locating pocket, measuring the depth of the pocket. Other than that, to measure width of attached gingiva, to measure the graft which is procured, free gingival graft, or during gingival recession treatment we use or procure graft. To measure that, all these things we can use probe. Probes are calibrated instruments. So in calibrations there are different markings are given on this probe tip. So here the calibrated probe or handheld probe are called as first generation probe. Then other than that, the probes which pressure sensitive probes are there, which we call it as a second generation. Third generation are computer assisted probe. So all these are, again we will be covering in the theory part, but partially I will tell you just few probes. That a probe is mainly this probe where 1 millimeter markings are there. You can see here markings on this probe tip. You can see very well black color grooves or markings are there. These markings are 1 millimeter markings are there up to 10 millimeter here, and one gap you can find here. One gap is there where 4th and 6th both are missing, only 5 number marking is there. So these calibrations we call it as a Williams calibrations or Williams probe with these markings. Okay, so this probe is we call it as a Williams probe. Other than that, here we have another probe here. This is CPITN probe. CPITN probe, it has a 0.5 millimeter ball at the tip of the probe. Then other than that, markings are there like 3.5 to 5.5 color coded band is there, and then it extends up to 11.5. 8.51 marking is there, 11.5 marking is there. So these are different markings. CPITN probe can be of two different types, CPITN-C and CPITN-E. E is for epidemiological purpose, where only up to 5.5 markings are there, and C is up to 11.5. This is CPITN-E type of probe which we use for clinical purpose. Okay, so this is second type of probe. Here we have one more probe with us, that we call it as a neighbors probe. This neighbors probe is mainly used for furcation purpose. Here you can find color coded band is there from this point to this point, that is 3 mm color coded band is there. So here markings are 1 to 3, 3 to 6, then 6 to 9 and 9 to 12. So 12 millimeter markings are there and 3 mm color coded band is there. You can find here color coded band of 3 mm can be seen. So these neighbors probe are mainly meant for furcation purpose. So furcation areas like buccal furcation or lingual furcation you can insert, because of this curved angulation you can insert very well into the furcation. Okay, so this is neighbors probe mainly for furcation purpose. Another handheld probes are also there, like UNC 15. Then other than that, UNC 15 Marquis color coded probe is there, Goldman Fox probe is there. So now you can find the images in the book, all these handheld probe. Okay. Here another next diagnostic instrument, we call it as a explorer. Explorer is mainly diagnostic instrument to detect the calculus deposits, subgingival calculus deposits which are not visible with eye. We can detect by exploratory stroke. By using this explorer end we can detect the subgingival calculus. So subgingival calculus detection is one use of this. Other than that, to detect caries we can use explorer. Explorer, these two ends are there, double ended instrument. This is 23 end and this is 17 number end. So this is mainly used for checking the remaining flexes of calculus after scaling also. Then we'll move to next instrument. This we call it as a cotton tweezer. We call it as a tweezer or cotton plier. This is mainly for any holding purpose, like for isolation or cotton roll we can hold and we can keep in a particular region. So with this we complete our diagnostic set of instrument. So when you people arrange, first you have to arrange this diagnostic instrument. Another mirror and one extra mirror and probe you have to keep in a kidney tray for staff whenever you are doing on patient. Okay, thank you. With this